afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, ImperialDane, Master of Propaganda here of Reich, Defender of the Fatherland, with here's an exciting 1 vs 1 on Arnhem checkpoint between in the south. IronEmperor fighting here for the Oberkommando West for the 116th Panzer Division Winhund versus the North ImperialDane fighting for the United States of America and the 2nd Armored Division with airborne, heavy cavalry, infantry versus fortifications, Luftwaffe and special operations, bulletins for infantry, machine guns, grenades, and lots of Panther 4 bulletins. We got Kuhlbang start here from IronEmperor, lastly signalling he wants to grab a bunch of territory right away as soon as possible, with full gunners following up, quickly rushing ahead, hitting line cover around the point here, rushing for the centre, whereas I'm sort of moving more towards the west there with lots of riflemen on the way. I could throw in more re-echelons, but I prefer when the Americans have a bit more firepower initially to that way, so push things through a bit. Meanwhile, in fact, he's rushing straight here. Looks like he's going for a bit of a disruptive opening using the Steel Pioneers to sort of try and throw off my early game and cause me some grief. In this case, we've got Rifle Steel moving towards the same point. In this case, he's going quite within range there, and I just try to react to sort of quickly start in time enough to the rifleman so you get some shots off without taking too much damage. Ultimately, though, it doesn't quite fully work out there. Ultimately, again, using the terrain, he was able to again get close without taking too much damage. He's still suffering somewhat, but by the time there, overall, I had no cover. He neither had, but at assault rifle sense should have performed better versus units in absolutely no cover. Meanwhile, grabbing fuel point there, and he's going to probably rush straight for the car point. We've got the Kuhlbahn moving up here, so in that sense, he's focusing a lot there, in part moving up the west, but also disrupting my early game, where it does sort of late on, so now the troops sort of secure resources for himself. Rifleman quickly enforcing with a 3rd squad on the way, grabbing the point there for America. While the rest of the Sturm Pioneers stand about here. Alright, no Americans. I think we're looking in the wrong way. There we go. And there you go. Quick brushed off. 3rd Rifle Squad almost done. There we go. And we're getting the Kuhlbahn M1 carbines and M1 Garands opening up on the lightly armoured Kugelwagen, quickly forcing IronEmperor there to pull it back. Meanwhile, Fultz moves straight here for the fuel, but seems to have forgotten the call point. More Fultz moving up, plus we've got a truck here for IronEmperor. Will it be a battle group headquarters? Will it be a mechanized regiment? Either way, he does quite a fuel for it at the moment. And that could have been a manpower spent on something else like, say, more Sturm Pioneers, another Kugelwagen, or perhaps more Fultz Grenadiers. Fultz was moving up here, some sort of trying to hold up. They're quickly rushing up to deny them the building, going here. Truck moving in, then Rifleman quickly engaging. Kind of figure he's going to try and set up battle group headquarters. Some players like to set up rather forty using buildings for cover. Obviously, I'm not too keen on that. So I quickly push away there, with Rifleman 4 rushing over to support my rear echelons. We're currently being besieged by a throng there of Fultons. We've got an engagement up here. Rifleman in this case having the advantage. Again, we sort of got the same, units out in the open. In this case, the Rifleman overall have the advantage here, in particular up close. Fultons there pulling back into a bit of light cover, but for this, it's already a bit too late. The M1 Garands have rather torn through them up close, and now CoH2 can just quickly pull up there and push them away fully. Anyone pushing up to this point again, it's mostly sort of controlled who gets, if I could get resources from the eastern side. It doesn't help so much in the west. Of course, you might just try and cut off resources elsewhere. Meanwhile, more fighting. In this case, the Steel Pioneers are in a bad position. Negative cover, the rifle quickly see them off there and send them running. The M1 Garands tearing through their bodies of the uniforms, while Snazzy are not bulletproof. Meanwhile, Rifleman hunting down the Kuhlbahn, trying to stop him from causing too much havoc. There we go, moving up as well. Got access to the anti-tank rifle grenade. And
Germans are making a push.
Made a mistake there, clearly. Again on, but this time, nope, that's just a problem. He's going to be able to get away quickly. So almost got the Kuhlbahn, but allowed to escape. That was a definite fumble on my part. Meanwhile, they almost got things here going well. IronEmperor, while having made a sort of nice push, wasn't able to really consolidate it. And instead, is now beginning to suffer under repeated counterattacks from my side. And I'm also quickly taking ahead here. I know some players like to go for the captain, but I prefer the lieutenant, a bit more aggressive. Plus going airborne and calling in Pathfinder to support my troops as well, further try and bleed out IronEmperor. Doing engagement, of course, just get some more troops to sort of grab territory. Plus beacons are always quite handy as well. In the meanwhile, as all of this is focusing on the west again, he's really intelligent, just throwing me off. I'm grabbing his resources in the east, and he doesn't quite seem to react. And again, he's still hanging back with the truck here. Got the rifle here, basically again saying, get out of here, hands. This isn't a crack town. We don't like your kind here. Also, they're falling back. Lieutenant with Pathfinder support continuing in from the north there, troops reinforcing. And with this, of course, at the same time, I also know, alright, he hasn't actually tagged up, he keeps moving back and straight and forth, and again, I'm also kind of confident, again, he's probably planning a battle group headquarters, because no sane person would set up with a mechanized regiment in a position like that. Kuban here as Lieutenant Pathfinder's moving up support forces inside the building, but they're still being bled out. Kuban takes a bit of damage, which for the fuel point. There you go, Pathfinder's flanking in there on the Fultz Grenadiers with their scope rifles and non-scope rifles. There you go, opening up in the flank, and there we go. The Fultz Grenadiers quickly find themselves cut down there. But again, going for that fuel point, the cheeky bastard. M20 on the way, finding here for the eastern side. Rifleman falling back, trying to reconnect it all. He's managed to enter the point neutral, but the Kuban still pushed away, and he's still taking quite a bit of damage here and there. Pathfinders, for those curious, were basically sort of units dropped ahead of larger paired drops, sort of in secure positions ahead of time and sort of, prepare bits and such, though I believe they acted to quite heavy casualties in the process, generally, and I'm not entirely sure as to the full efficiency of the unit, but they were there. Mine here, by the way, good position there from IronEmperor, pretty much guaranteed to catch someone, so jolly good mine there. M20 almost done, and there we go. Meanwhile, we got a doctrine there from IronEmperor, it is Luftwaffe, to mirror the airborne, I suppose, in a sense. We got an MG-34 that being called up here to support the 116th Panzer Division Winhund, which was formed from a reserve Panzer Division stationed in Brittany, I believe, or somewhere along the western coast in France. Probably not Brittany, actually. Britannia? I can't remember quite, but that and the remnants of the 116th Panzer Gunner Division, which have been shattered on the eastern front recently. Rushing up here, and there go, hits a mine. Almost got the Sturmpioneers then, actually. But due to the damage, engine can't quite pursue, and the mine's armoured skirts came up a bit too late there. Still forced away, have to repair their Nemo fighting here. Volkswagen's forcing back the rifleman, incendiary grenade, lighting the entire thing on fire. Nemo pushing up the west here. Rifleman reinforcing. Got more troops up, trying to repair. At the same time, we got a Volkswagen up there with the Panther 6. Shot fired, immediately knocks out the M20. Leaving things a bit messy for me there. But still managed to push him back here, and also important to note, I think, is IronEmperor so far. I mean, he's focusing partly on disrupting my part of the map, but he's also focusing on trying to hold the centre of the map. Less focusing enough, he's actually defending his own fuel, which is actually something I'm counting on, because, casting a lot of matches, on you notice certain patterns amongst players, and I'd like to, personally, take advantage of them, exploit those patterns. And for example, one of the patterns I note for a particular lot of German players, they tend to leave their own fuel points very unguarded here on Arnhem checkpoint. I mean, they're very much focused on the centre to hold it, defend it, no matter the cost. Not one step back, so Führer demands we hold this town. Really? No, I just feel more comfortable here. And ultimately, they tend to be very poor at defending their own resources, which means if you can just keep pushing there, harassing there, as the Allies, you can usually gain yourself quite a fuel advantage, and that's rather what I'm banking on. Calling up the ambulance here. Lots of troops standing about there. Basically meaning he's currently got free range to just push ahead here, but of course the question is, will he actually do it? Bit of Sandbags here to try and hold my cut-off point, the cheeky bastard. And he's finally gone for the battle group headquarters, was rather settled for a compromise, and by that I mean he's sitting up inside his own base. Healing up troops there, reinforcing. Pathfinders and such will obviously need some help there. I could at this point, of course, consider throwing in perhaps an A-half to sort of further pressure the infantry. Got a 50 caliber out here, by the way, quite a handy heavy machine gun. Also there grabbing the fuel point again. Overall, we're now seeing that IronEmperor, of course, is grabbing most of the territory. But it certainly has been quite a cost, and overall I've still got a larger force than his, so it's obviously not without any issues. But there you go, setting up, and they're striking at my 50 caliber. I hadn't actually considered that. That was a bit of a tactical blunder there from my side. I should have waited for some infantry. In this case, the fight to make is pretty cleared up. We've got riflemen up support. We should have more infantry soon. Moving in, there we go. Larger assault here. Through this sort of swing in there, catching on the retreat path, doing some damage there. Should be able to flank in on the Fallschirmjägers, going for the cut-off point. There we go, quick geballte Lagnung. Also, an interesting fact is the Oberkommando West bundle grenade, I believe, actually has a better AoE than the Wehrmacht one, which for some reason is really strange. They should be about effective. I mean, again, the Wehrmacht one also costs a bunch more than, say, an American grenade, which is, I think 35, or even, again, bulletins cheaper than that, yet for some reason it performs about the same as an American grenade, despite being a bundle grenade, which is more expensive. I always thought that one a bit strange. And of course, we compare with the light gammon bomb, things get even more awkward. Oh, we're moving up here, another mine. In that sense, IronEmperor is doing quite well, by the way, in mining up a lot there. Pathfinder supporting a rifleman, catching the Fultons out in the open. Kuban about here, harassing behind enemy lines. Again, overall keeping up good pressure for that, but of course, at the same time, I'm keeping up with pressure elsewhere. And it's good, of course, to keep aware of harassers, but at the same time, good check location again, just unit not being completely caught up by them, still pushing ahead somewhere, though of course it is a bit of a risky gambit. Force they're losing slightly out to the rifleman, sending a grenade off, didn't quite land, and we've got another MG34, further fortification again, might be using going to further hold up the centre. Kuban here finding the echelon slowly winning out. Don't have any other troops to immediately rush in, but there we go, rifleman up. Might try and get off another anti-tank rifleman, the other rifleman need to pull back. Going for the fuel again, going for the victory points. Got a victory point lead, in fact, again, I'm ahead against IronEmperor. Didn't manage to get off the anti-tank rifle grenade there, much to my chagrin. But there we go, this time he won't get away. Oh no. And there we go, finally IronEmperor's luck runs out there. Heinz didn't make it back home for Weissbier. Meanwhile, Fulton's moving up here. Pathfinder's opening up there with the scoped rifles and M1 carbines. Getting off a few shots there. Vehicle under fire, could try and rush up here, of course, get something things up close. And we got Lieutenant here pushed back by Fallschirmjägers with Fultz going to support a bit much firepower, plus the MG34 in the church. Still managed to sort of cut him off from the fuel plant again, and while he of course has been able to harass me, I think overall I've been able to harass him more in that department. And of course at this point might also be a time to consider perhaps getting up some weapon racks, some BARs, but also to have something in case for bazookas, in case he somehow rush out a vehicle against me, in which case, you know, bazookas are good.
A capture point is under attack.
I mean, to a certain extent, it's almost a must, you know, if you're going for a platoon command post and you're not, for example, also going for airborne, in which case, you know, you can just drop an anti-tank gun. But with this, I mean, you're always going to have the bazookas and versus whatever you can get in the early game. The bazookas tend to work out pretty well. Brief consideration there for Kuban. Looks like IronEmperor dropped it. Of course, the question here, will he try now for the mechanized regiment? Oh no, Schwerpanzer Quarter, so he's rushing ahead for armour. Perhaps, you know, again, with all these bulletins, makes sense. He wants those Panzervolls out as soon as possible. He wants tanks out, and he probably also wants some orbital darting up. 50 caliber up there, blend caliber granate down there, smoke screen up, which was where the grenade partly was useful, but also to sort of just force crews out of their tanks. Spun grenade here, in this case, that doesn't quite work out. Up here, troops reinforcing, could grab some BARs or some bazookas. And Goshidon Pioneer's moving up, 50 caliber just raking away. Also a bit of shooting here, MG34 covering here, so he's got sort of decent coverage of the centre. But again, there's just a slight problem with that idea. I'm not frightfully interested in the centre. Again, what I'm interested in is in the victory points and the fuel on both sides. So right here, he's invested about 420 manpower in something, you know, that's probably not going to see too much action. I mean, in that sense, again, you have to consider, where are you setting up your machine guns? Are they defending any vital resources, like, say, the fuel or the victory points? Maybe some munitions, if you really are dependent on your strategy for munitions. Not particularly there's a victory point, but only one, really. And that's engineer again, otherwise you're just sort of plunging down like machine guns that might have some effect, and again, they can sort of make things a bit more difficult, but at the same time, you know, I can just move about it. I mean, the only way they could be super effective is you're somehow so absolutely lazy, you can't somehow just formulate a path around them.
We're losing a capture point.
At this point, I do believe I'm actually aiming for some tanks myself. I know a lot of players, again, like to go for the company command post, but rather than Americans, I do prefer sort of having much more aggressive posture. Again, Americans are more offensively oriented faction, so going for a quick Sherman tends to sort of fit me better. And again, with a weapon rack, again, you can get your own bazookas. You don't need the captains to do that work for you. Also got some rifle here with the double VARs, but in this case caught by the MG34. I tend to forget a bit, but no, we also have a smaller force here, a mix of vehicle crews, re-echelons, and some pathfinders. An odd bunch moving up here on the right hand side. Difficult being caught by the MG34, MG34 Fallschirmjägers, though the FT42s. Also on the way, same as jump as riflemen. 50 caliber here, not going to be too effective there. There's been heavy cover, and they actually such it up. They're not quite so easily pushed out there. Troops reinforcing, healing up, more BARs being grabbed there. The more BARs I can grab, of course, the better, because that of course means more firepower to deal with my German opponents. Rather than going to need to fall back, 50 caliber also forced away. Not too good engagement there for me, but there we go. More angry Americans with more guns, and of course, I hope I remember to upgrade my lieutenant with a BAR, since that's also a pretty good idea. Meanwhile, though, again, we are seeing here IronEmperor controlling the centre, but again, control of the actual resource of the sort of perimeter points here he's not so grand. I mean, he can take them, but he's not too good on holding them. And again, most of his effort towards holding is on the centre. Meanwhile, Kugelwagen on the way there. And of course, I got my own sort of potential for armour, but he's getting a bit ahead there. Due to a rule perhaps having some leisure and again, you know, bit of sort of diversity and harassment. And I suppose holding the centre points here does provide him with some resources, obviously. Rifleman with 50 cover moving ahead. Foxes here versus Rifleman with double VARs. Got some orbs line moving up. They have no machine gun on the way though, so that's pretty much a win here for the Rifleman, in particular done with the double VARs, so we're getting ever closer to Veteran Few. The folks are getting absolutely slaughtered. My god! So you have so many automatic weapons, we have to get out of here. And the orbital line for some reason just jumped forwards. Unsure what propelled them to vault over into VAR land. There you go. Taking heavy damage, taking losses. MD-34 firing in here. Storm Pilots moving up, at the same time bit of pressure up north, getting suppressed here by the MD-34 there. Other way, the smaller force holding up here. I could consider now setting up a fighting position to hold here a bit easier, to force them to bring up heavier weapons to do that. And of course I could also consider getting grenades to help deal with MD-34s to smoke them out and whatnot, but at this point I'm pretty much dead set on getting out some Shermans. More troops arriving, fighting makers moving in there. Lieutenant here sort of moving up there now in heavy cover. The MD-34 can't deal with them, occupying 7 another unit, so that's pretty much guaranteed win there. There's basically a big spot there, and there we go. Flanked out, hadn't considered him up there, was planning to flank the Storm Pioneers with the 50 cover, moving up here, discovering his Schwerpanzer quarter set up there. No big surprise. We also got a Kedner, he's obviously also expecting me to get out armour vehicles, but so far I'm obviously not quite there. Major sent running. There we go, volley fight, quick Brandhand Grenade versus the Pathfinders. Bit rare. In this case, it's actually working out because he's too focused on my Pathfinders, allowing my re-echelons to suppress the Fulkers, now allowing them to move up, then just finish them off up close with the M1 carbines. And they're actually too, they're actually sort of half decent in combat, in particular versus troops who can't respond back. It's right there, I'm actually winning out this engagement quite handily. So, I mean, remember, you do consider when you can use volley fire, but if you can't, try to use it. I mean, one-on-one, it's not so great, but in a larger engagement, having them suppress a unit, you know, can make a difference. You know, moving up here, getting shredded by the VAR riflemen as they push for the fuel point. Not quite working out there for them. But thanks to their cloaking bonus, they can sort of make it out of there. Maybe. No. Ultimately not. And there we go, also on the make shot with the re-echelons, even they can't withstand the firepower of the Third Reich when they bring in such firepower. Shuts Wrath. Troops reinforcing, preparing. Still haven't upgraded that lieutenant, but very close there. In fact, I can't go for a Sherman right now. But at the same time, IronEmperor is getting close to being to call in the Panther 4. And they're going to defend for quality for the rifleman. Double BRs again. Puts your wipe there, and puts you that grabbed over here to America. And there you go, White Jumper's moving up. Veterans free though, I mean, he's really been making good use of them. Which is always nice to see, except of course when you're the one on the receiving end of them, in which case you're perhaps not quite as impressed. But also on there taking back the fuel point, vehicle crew hanging about here. Need to perhaps consider upgrading some of my men with bazookas. And of course, get a Sherman. Get some tanks on there. Goes jumping caught here by riflemen winging from both sides. Storm Pioneers can't withstand that. Meanwhile, another push for the cop bomb. Got the 10 moving up there. And there we go. Now double BAR'd up, plus the some machine gun and veterans to flee. The folks is rapidly sent running. And of course, plus the loss of the MD-34, which I have now secured, means I've actually got the machine gun advantage. And unlike him, I'm going to place them around the vital points. Not around the point where my opponent so far has shown a minimal amount of interest. Also on here though, slowly being bled out, and there Galton pulls back in the face of the Pathfinders. Sherman on the way, in this case, those bit too slow there. But a mistake, and there we go, getting bazookas as well. So I'll have 2 bazookas and a Sherman to deal with a Panther 4. With a lot of armor bulletins, which does mean it should be somewhat tough actually. We're talking about closer to a Tiger sort of in terms of armor than a otherwise Panther 4 there. Still not too tough. There's still a Panther 4. Meanwhile, fortunately up here and standing in the middle of the road. Not the best position to hand about. 50 caliber covering the northern road as well to protect the push there. Sherman arriving. troops hanging about, grabbing points here, and there you go, Panther come found arrives here for the Panther Division being hunt. There we go, rushing out there once the troops are pressed to sort of quickly do some extra good damage. Panther 4 moving up, Fulton's going to support, Sherman moving down. Going to have to set it up to armour piercing rounds quickly. I was actually setting up to deal with the infantry. I wasn't actually expecting him to get a Panther 4 that quickly, but go figure. Meanwhile, he's just hunting targets for there. Have to quick react to their arrival of the Panther come Falcon, Raketmeff nearby, but not quite there. Support, can't easily move forward either due to all the other American infantry. There we go, shot there. Both getting a penetrating shot against the others. Going to tank rifle nearby. Fully being suppressed by the MD-34, halted, pinned down to the ground like insects. Got a larger force moving in, they got the rear swinging up the bazooka. Vehicle crew trying to get in there, in this case getting caught here by the MD-34. Or in this case, the MD-34 is occupied with the 50 caliber. Orbison nearby supporting. Sherman moving up there. Panther 4 to occupy, allowing the Panther 4 to get Sherman to get a bit closer there, minimising the effectiveness of the Panther 4's armour. Vehicle crew moving up, rifle moving in. Orbison moving closer and closer there. And then could be under 5. That same got rifle support is firing in at the MD-34. Blend cover there at the chaps inside the building. Quick before start, Kedma being swarmed by riflemen. Sherman, damaging the Panther 4. We have Panther supports over there. All of a sudden, lone health being pushed back. Vehicle crew moving up. Vehicle reactions there with the bazooka. Either way, going to try and get to that Panther 4. Sherman 2 damages to pursue, at least I think sensibly. Replacement Pioneer squad there on the way for IronEmperor after the veteran 3 ones were tragically lost in service of Deutschland. Vehicle crew tries to sneak forward to get off another bazooka hit, but there you go. Panther 4 gets off an excellent hit, leaving only a single survivor. There you go, rolling ahead to Sherman, feeling perhaps a bit confident there. We got more troops up to support the Panther 4 to cover it with Panther Schneck. So right here, I'm actually making a bit of a ballsy move. Almost got it, but at the same time, he almost got my Sherman. Rather than either support, and the force goes out, not in a good position to actually fight right from there with double BARs and Veteran 3. Meanwhile, the MD-34 about to get wiped out there. It's going to have to fall back. Holding territory here. Back at base, healing up, reinforcing, grabbing more guns if possible. Good for some for another bazooka on the view crew, and they're going for ideal. I mean, I'm surprised some players, like to sort of pop up and exchange the crew, but they never consider just, getting them another bazooka and just turn them into a full-on bazooka team. Fun fact there. But ultimately with this, he's quite lost control here of the centre of the map, besides, the victory point, due to the, having the Schwer Panzer quarters there. He's called up another MD-34 that should try and gain some kind of control. And right here, by the way, I made a bit of a blunder. I have moved my 50 caliber back there. It's low on health, very low on health, due to the blend cover. Very big mistake there by me, actually. Closing in, I'll be able to call in another Sherman, which again is part of this strategy. I mean, you hold the fuel point, you deny plenty of fuel, you then build up a lot of tanks and roll over them. Or with them, or your opponent. Lost the 50 caliber then again. Bit of a blunder from my side. No excuses there. Right here, Fulton's out in the open versus the rifleman with their double BARs, and again, not really much chance of survival there for the Fulton. These in Veteran 3, they're just getting shredded here. And we go right back now, gain Veteran 3, easily having the upper hand here. Double BARs is simply a very potent combination. In fact, we've got a wipe there against IronEmperor, suffering a tragic loss for Deutschland. Also noting, no mid-game analysis, rather long match, just in case someone wondering. Fulton moving out in their negative colour, which again does tend to make them easier targets, basically meaning they just take more damage. So generally you don't want to be fighting with infantry out in the middle of the road. You want to minimise the amount of time you're out there. Bazooka team there versus the Panther 4. Good force away, and they're going now with double bazookas, a bit better chance of penetrating or doing damage. Of course, while the bazooka might not do as much damage to the Panther, the thing to remember about them is they shoot a lot faster. You can get off a lot more bazooka rockets than you can with the Panther. We know if you've got enough bazookas, you can quickly actually take down a lot of tanks and health. They're forcing away. Another engagement here. Brutalised here. We see here that IronEmperor was forced to call back his men. An assault that did not work out. Sherman sitting up here, perhaps trying to sort of catch the Panther 4. A Kedmeff sneaking about. In this case, this shot bounced off, and I just decide, let's not after all. But second Sherman on the way there for the 2nd Armoured Division. Orbison sneaking about here. Again, could consider perhaps some flanking positions with regards to more exterior points, or far away points there. And of course, one of the weaknesses with the sort of place that I've got here, though, is I'm actually holding an awful lot of ground here. It's going to be hard for me, for example, to act a full assault here, with force, for example, from here and vice versa. So, I mean, if IronEmperor were to sort of pull through a quick and clever assault, you know, he could actually do a lot of damage to me. I mean, holding a lot of ground is not necessarily what he would do. I mean, strategically, what I should be doing, of course, is trying to, you know, hold these 2 victory points, for example, and then maybe try and hold the additional points here. But rather, again, and this is very much, you know, based on the fact, again, how many German players play Arnhem checkpoint. I know I can get away with holding a larger chunk of map there because, well, you'd be surprised at how many Axis players in general are not very confident in maneuver warfare, particularly German players, it seems. Which is a bit ironic somewhere. Panther, they take some hits to bazookas, Panthers. Shots, there you go, both low on health, Panther almost down, pulls back, they're halfway to victory 3, doing good work there. Lieutenant, there we go, full from straight to the MD-34, incendiary grenades off, pop them the bits as soon as now they lack something to throw at the MD crew there. Troops back there, healing reinforcement, we've got more Fallschirmjägers out here, appearing right behind.
The enemy is overrunning
Straight to the Pathfinders and the vehicle crew, plus of course we have right from here we can easily respond. As well to support. Further engagement here, trying to hit Sherman opening up, and there we go, in fact calling in artillery, because I think, you know, they're just trying to sort of hide around here, so I use the artillery from the Major to flash them out. More BARs being handed out. Further far there, Pathfinders about to get wiped out, I'm too slow in fact to retreat them. Bit of a mistake there. But of course it could end up losing more fights due to now the arrival of the veteran T3 riflemen with their double BARs, and there you go. More men dropped rather rapidly. Another Sherman on the way. I mean, just keep building on Shermans. I don't really have much use for a Jackson in particular, since he's still lagging about a lot of infantry, so just more Shermans. I could go for Scots though. Could also allow me to lay down smoke in a slightly more interesting manner. But at this point I just figure, you know, more Shermans, more good. Back at base, troops running about. Rather than hanging about here. God damn it. Don't want to be out here. And there we go, Germans moving up. MD-34 moving up, there we go, they are slowly closing on HFE right now. Again, note what he does, you know, he just stands about out in the open, there's units in light cover. There we go, finally pulls into cover, realising, you know, maybe I should be somewhere slightly safer. Response is a base center shift over Shermans.
Sherman ready.
Though the movement pad, of course, due to sort of the pathing choice there, it's a bit awkward. Still, MD crew down to fire. Got the Panther, the Kidnap moving up as well. Third Sherman moving in. Sherman there down to half health. MD-34 forced to get out of there as Church collapses on it. Anti-tank opening up as well. Air dropped in by the armor piercing rounds there. Quick to drop, use it, but misses on the second shot there. Kidnap gets one Sherman. Bit of a loss there for America. And meanwhile, those Sherman strikes up against the Fox continues. Riflemen supporting, and there we go, quick to force them away. Got the Orbison now as well.
What are your orders? Tank ready.
Almost got them there, Orbison roaming up the out on the Sherman. Back base troops reinforcing, healing up again. And I can soon get another Sherman again. Basically meaning even if I lose one, you know, it's not a particularly huge loss compared to, say, IronEmperor were to lose a Panzer IV. He'd been a lot more trouble. Of course, one option for him to consider quickly would be going for a Yak Panzer now to sort of just support himself more versus the armour, just sort of focus that down. Of course, he could also play for another Panther IV. Or he could try and go for a Panther to sort of just establish more armour superiority. I mean, a Panther IV working with a Panther would be a pretty potent combo versus my Shermans. We're swarming the anti-tank gun crew. Major rifleman doing with the counter-Sherman ultimately up support here.
We lost a gun crew.
Good damage engine, and not bad there. We probably won't be able to quite exploit. There you go, for further versus the Sherman. Panther IV moving about there, close to F-23. And a bit of fighting here. Trying to sort of figure out perhaps there's a spot where you can sort of grab it, where the Schwerpanzer quarters can't fire. Almost got the munitions point there as well. Overall, just slowly strangling him with resources. Bleeding out that way, a war of attrition, if you will. Panther IV striking forwards. Straight into the bazookas. Bouncing off, and there we go. He's using that Kednev to basically spot out the lieutenant here. The lieutenant tank doing quite good damage to the Schwerpanzer quarters. Ends up wiping out, much to my sadness. That was a poor tactical position by me. I'd rather push my luck beyond what it can actually hold. But there you go. Panther IV veteran 3, but almost knocked out. Bazooka dropped. Still bleeding out of victory points, maintaining control of the map, and just pumping out more tanks.
They got wiped out.
Lost the re-echelons though. Unfortunate. They've still got the vehicle crew there with their double bazookas.
Crew ready.
I could also consider calling in some paratroopers to help visit the infantry further. That would not be a bad idea. Please regain the central victory point. But overall, IronEmperor needs to conduct a more focused assault on some part of the map, you know, with armor, with infantry. You know, you can't just sort of keep prodding about their hopes to succeed in something. I mean, harassment at this rate won't get him very far. He's getting another Panther 4 though. Not bad. He can sort of pull off an assault here, so he gathers Panthers, his infantry, and they make a push for the eastern point here where I'm probably the weakest. Not a lot of support weapons and the likes. Push through there. Maybe so have the infantry move up here while the armor then flanks up, gets behind, striking from there. He could probably pull it off there. I mean, he's controlling the center, so he does control the flow of the battle if he wants to. But so far, though, IronEmperor has only used that to sort of slightly harass over some points, but overall, never to launch a full-on assault into my flanks. Panzer 4 moving out. Vets into 3, very lethal Panzer. More Panzer 4s on the way, or Shermans, plus Panzer 4s obviously.
Tank support is here. Sherman
Shot bounced, Panzer 4 gets a good hit. Another Sherman arriving, other one prepared here, Vets into 2. Here we got Orbison rushing forward, change the rifle into the vehicle crews. 34 kills there for America, and there goes Sherman. Blitzes forward, straight past the Panther, which is also trying to blitz away there. Shots bounce off as well. Rifle flanking in the Orbison, bazookas flying there, Rifle about to get wiped out here. Might have pushed, it's a bit too far, but there you go, Orbison pushed away. Panther 4 on to right, we got Panther 4, Vetchancy 4. Almost got my Vetchancy 2 Sherman. But at the same time, they get closer to the other things, they go re-exposed to the other Shermans. Taking a lot of damage there. He might have pushed his lot a bit too far. They should have waited for the other Panzer 4 hit. In this case, IronEmperor did not exercise enough patience, I think. Basically, no losing. I mean, he got some of his tanks, obviously, but he's lost a bit to 4 Panzer 1. That's a lot harder to replace than Sherman's is for me. We got another Sherman down. He's actually done some infantry damage, though. Sliver of health there. Another Sherman on the way. There we go, another Panther 4 down. Huge loss there for the 116th Panzer Division. That was practically Pyrrhic. Well, not quite. He's still got plenty of infantry, but in terms of armour, he can't easily replace those losses. But again, thanks to my strategy in holding the map here, I can easily replace my losses. Sure, it's cold, it's calculating, but it's winning me the fight. Or at least it's looking like it does. And it does mean I've got more Shermans, I've got more tanks, I've still got one tank, I'm getting another one. IronEmperor won't immediately be able to get another tank. In fact, he's not even focusing on the fuel point, he's focusing on the victory points, trying also have to stem that bleed.
The enemy is overrunning one of our captured
There you go,
points.
another Sherman. I think that's my 4th or 5th Sherman actually. Orbison moving ahead, here we've still got the MD-34 there, holding up here. Quickly putting a halt there to the Orbital down, who can't do much. Plus we got the Major hanging about there ready to provide any assistance as well. He's called up more Academy to help deal with the armour. Not a bad idea at all. Also getting some 50 calibers on the Shermans. I probably should have done that sooner, definitely would help those the infantry. There we go, Fulton moving up, but just rushing the Sherman straight into them. I mean, the thing to keep out about Fulton is, you know, if you keep pushing back with your tanks, they can't shoot their rocket launchers. I mean, they need a few seconds to actually shoot them, so one way of basically disrupting them is just driving into them, force them to either shift around or get crashed. If you then have some 50 calibers in the Shermans, that certainly makes the job easier. All Storm Pioneers wiped out here. So there we go, a vicious armoured strike there. Driving into the centre. Going straight for the MD-34 there. Seeing that running at the same time, moving up here. Academy trying to catch up with this at the same time, holding things up here. MD-34, nice position up here, by the way. Did not expect that positioning, and almost got the MD-34 here. In fact, there we go. Another MD-34 crew wipe. More Storm Pioneers on the way for IronEmperor. Sherman's running back again here. Could actually try and knock it out, but the way he's currently moving back as Academy, that would not quite work out. Of course, I don't know he's moving about like Academy efforts there. In fact, I'm not quite ready to throw up that many. But did you just shoot your own? Looks like it. Briefly. However, the Fighters sent running orbs are next up here, taking heavy losses from BAR, 50 caliber and main gun fire. And the MG-34 here in a pretty bad position. Wasn't able enough to quickly put away, and now we got two Shermans basically covering the retreat path. That was initially tactically clever, but ultimately rather undercut with the fact he hadn't thought about pulling them back. So rather that's another brutal loss there to IronEmperor. He's getting a Kubelwagen now to try and grab territory. Volkswagen is rushing forwards for Deutschland. And paratroopers arriving while the Germans pull back for repairs. Plus being close to calling another Sherman, and again he's just sort of slowly making his way towards more Panzers, but he's still struggling sort of getting them anywhere. Kubelwagen arrives. Troops making their way back. Sherman's being repaired, almost ready to go again actually. Got Ravni just sort of holding up on their own, grenades off, and Fult's gonna just send the American running. We got BAR dropped here, which you can't pick up actually. And Patriots are getting the Thompson submachine gun. I'm quite happy about it, and I quite like tactical assault, which is basically what I'm going for. The cool run here, though, apparently hadn't heard someone had set up an anti-tank gun there. He quickly loses his Kubelwagen. That was basically 210 manpower down the drain. Patriots versus Fallschirmjäger. Almost got the submachine gun. Grenade being exchanged. Cook versus Gebaldel. Sherman's moving up as well, and the Fallschirmjägers are quickly sent running. He's got the Kenmers moving about there. Also note that he's actually a very good tactical spread, that they're not quite next to each other, which a lot of players would do, but that also means both Shermans can sort of just run about them easily. They set the spread up, meaning even have one Kenmer sort of spread up, so that manoeuvred. The other one has a very high likelihood of being able to shoot as well, even if it then goes for the other one. Again, the other one can cover you there, so right here, very good spread there by IronEmperor. Smoke going down in this case though, bit too late. Almost got one of Kenmer, but didn't, instead I lost to Sherman, so that didn't quite work out then again. A very good example though of why you actually spread out your anti-tank guns just by a bit. So well done there by IronEmperor. Although admittedly at the moment it happened, I obviously didn't quite have that thing in mind, but you know, when I'm in my commentary seat as a caster, obviously I have to point out that's actually pretty clever. I will do so happily. But in the heat of battle, obviously not. Orbit's sending up, Veteran 3. Got an MG-34 who basically stones to cover this area as well. Basically further locking down the map, and again locking down the exterior points. And again, basically to go far again, negating his strategy of holding the center. Which again, it's a very common strategy for a lot of players to just try to hold the center and then neglect everything else, just to try to crush their opponent, who in most cases will then happily grind themselves down here instead of just striking it. But again, other players just ignore them and just go for the other resources, that way bleeding them out. Orbital need to cover. We actually got Valiant Assault there. Just again, there seems a bit of an issue there for him to sort of fully coordinate his assault. I mean, there's no armor. The infantry didn't move at the same time. It just ended up being a waste of 100 munitions there, to be honest, for IronEmperor, which is a bit of a shame there. They go Paratrooper up, being like heading over the Thompson submachine gun. Very powerful submachine gun, but also heavy and expensive to make. Getting another Panther 4 there. Perhaps at this point they might consider a Panther instead. In fact, he's close to having the resources for a Panther. I'm trying to help perhaps a bit more versus the Shermans and their numbers, as long as it properly supports it. Also, a fun detail about the 116th Panzer Division: while fighting in Normandy, it didn't actually have its own Panther Battalion. It had been forced to hand over its Panther Battalion to the 2nd Panzer Division, which in turn had been forced in the early days of the Normandy invasion to hand over its Panther Battalion to the 21st Panzer Division. Fun fact there. Panther divisions were very much the hot stuff in the German army, and they'd usually be passed out and hand over wherever the corps commandants deemed them necessary. It's not one of the things you hear a lot about, but it happened quite a bit there. And for example, in Italy, there was one Panzer division which, as soon as it arrived, I think around 1943, sort of 1944, immediately lost its Panther battalion, which was turned into a corps reserve, in fact, army reserve for the entire German army in Italy. But Panther on the way there for IronEmperor. 5 men sitting out. Sherman's going to need some repairs, but again, getting more Shermans. More 50 calibers. Or 50 cals. Got some weapon dropped here, I think. A bazooka. Kedmev setting up here. He knows I'm obviously mostly operating here, but at the same time he seems to be starting to set up here for an assault in the west, but again, he does lack a bit of support. I mean, one thing also consider maybe is just get some artillery, some leichtes Infanteriegeschütz, but I think also doing quite well there. Oh, he's sneaking about there, trying to salvage. Right under my nose, not bad. But at the same time, it does highlight my strategy's working there when he's actually being so desperate to try and do it under my nose to just grab some fuel because he's obviously lacking it. Creeping up there with the Fallschirmjägers, sneak assault there. Same time, we've got the Panther there, Panzerkampfwagen 5. Orbsland, eventually fall, quite tough customers, rather need to fall back, falling up there, goes straight into the paratroopers, and there we go, grenades, but also tactical assault, force getting absolutely massacred there. Panther moves up to another Sherman. Kedmev is trying to sit up there, need to get the other Sherman over there, but they're supporting here. Blenker over there for doing nasty things as the MG-34 crew. Panther continues to move there, Rifle could try and get off a anti-tank rifle, making their damage to the engine. And there we go, they actually do so, Damage engine, also on the Kedmev supporting. Paratroop still hanging about there, closing on Bet-23. Sherman rolling all the way over here from the west towards these. There we go. Moves forwards again, bomb grenade there, and there we go. Clears out the MG-34. Well done there. Even as he's managed to assault over here, though it's rather already lost a lot of momentum with the Panther having a damaged engine. It's pretty much lost all the go there. I mean, he just can grab the fuel point beyond that. No further. Bit of further fighting in this case suppressed, and suppressed quickly. Another blend cover though. He's very fond of him, and again, it's actually great to see a lot of players neglect the blend cover grenade, but it's actually quite handy. Can be used to force troops out of buildings, fob smoke screen if you want to. I mean, it's a really utilitarian grenade. There you go, moving ahead here, going straight for the Panther. And of course, with the damaged engine, I can do what I want, which is to flank the Panther and ignore its frontal armour. Just shoot through the rear armour. There you go. Kind of thinking that piece of McKenna was early saw them out of the way, though. Quickly sort of smoke them out, ensuring they could not fire an attack, allowing me to nice and peacefully quiet knock out his Panther. There you go, quick Sherman's rolling back here. My God, they keep knocking out our Panthers and 31V knockouts. They got another one standing ready. These Americans, they're crazy. There you go, one Sherman down, but again, I got a Panther, he got a Sherman. I got the better end of the deal, really. Particularly since it was my veteran, I mean. 200 fuel, 490 manpower. Sherman doesn't really cost in the same yard. In fact, it costs almost half of that. And go forwards with BARs and Panther bazookas moving straight into the MG-34. View crew doing the can bazookas and light fire there. Even got more troops moving in there. Riflemen, paratroopers, victory points being down. I mean, he's really doing his best. He's doing some damage. The problem is, though, his attacks just lack certain elements. They never quite get any farther. And again, it's partly due to the fact he just keeps attacking head on. He never tries to flank. He never tries to hit me from the side. Which overall makes things somewhat easy for me. I mean, he's relying very much on raw firepower, less on maneuver and firepower. Rifling against the Obersoldaten. Geballte Ladung there against the flanking rifleman, not bad. Niemand dealing here with the Sturm Pioneers for the Pilfered bazookas like Kedmev is standing out there. Sherman's being repaired. Obersoldaten slowly bleeding out, but they're quite tough customers at Veteran 5, but there you go. They cannot withstand a Veteran 5 Sherman, which... Christ, Harry! They're on our side! Gah. 3 men dead to Sherman. I don't think that crew's going to get invited to any parties anytime soon. My patrolling out again, tactical assault, very good there for clearing out units, and there you go, wiped. I mean, I know some players like to say, oh, Rangers, they're the best, but you know, Rangers don't have tactical assault. You cannot, I think, underestimate the power of tactical assault utilised properly. I mean, I absolutely love it. There you go, like Kedmev could try and sort of knock that out, destroy it, and ensure my enemy can't get it, which is rather what I'm doing. I mean, denying as many tank weapons as possible is rather what I want to do. Of course, you got another Kedmev, of course. He got paratroopers, but there we go, more force coming up, forcing the Sherman back. We got another Sherman there ready to sort of join the fight, and there you go, paratrooping up here with the Full Grenadiers. breaking down there with submachine gun. In this case, again close to the ship. Panther's caught a bit too close. Had forgotten about that right in the heat of battle. Bit of a blunder there from me, to be honest. Meanwhile, going there for the eastern fuel point again. Sherman rolling back rapidly. And we're repairing the Sherman there. Rifleman moving ahead. German troop moving ahead with MG-34 moving about. They're trying to defend. And he's getting more Sturmpanzers. Interesting enough, IronEmperor's never gotten more than one Oberstdorf squad. I kind of figured he would have at some point. And the incendiary grenade, but there he goes, supported by the veteran for Fallschirmjägers. Any defenders here are rapidly cleared out. So, I mean, he's finally now been able to break through. Finally, after grinding away for so long, he's finally gotten it at a huge cost. And again, never, ever considering apparently trying to flank through here and hit me from the rear. Not much. I mean, the closer we got was the Fallschirmjägers appearing from here to hit me from there, but never any sort of large-scale attacks. And of course, he can't really hold it very well. He's all being bled out there and Fult's going to do this, which now leaves his men open to armoured assaults. So while he might be able to force away the infantry, this Sherman's just going to roll over the Oberstdorf and the Fallschirmjägers pretty quickly once they get there, obviously. I mean, he's really resorting to some brutish tactics here, just pushing through with sheer raw firepower, not caring about anything else, but again, it comes at a terrible price. And it's one that leaves him quite vulnerable. I'm not entirely sure what he's intending to do with the Oberstdorf against two Shermans. Looks like he realised he doesn't know either. And there you go, we got another Panther 4 on the way there for IronEmperor. That would be his third Panther 4. I've lost count of the Shermans, maybe up to the 6th or the 7th, perhaps the 8th Sherman. Perhaps even more. Got a veteran to flee there and aced crew. Just wreaking havoc there on poor IronEmperor's forces. Rolling up his Raketenwerfers. Paratroopers standing guard nearby with their submachine guns and their grid. Also a few M1 carbines. Another Sherman on the way. Raketenwerfer slightly rolling back there, realising he's actually got nothing to screen them, so one wrong move there and I could easily knock out his Raketenwerfer, leaving him completely pantsless versus armour. There we go. Third Panther arrives, more Panzerwaffe. It's a Panzer Division. And now trying to strike towards the west there. Good, good. Realising sometimes you need to shift the element of attack there, so trying force your opponent to focus too much on one side, then strike here. So again, we're seeing something slightly better there, but still, it's not quite going his way. But there you go, striking with the Fallschirmjägers with Oberstdorf. Panther 4 moving up as well here. Better coordinated assault there from IronEmperor. Better. Anti-tank and crew wiped out. So of course the question is, will he try and capture it, will he try and scavenge it, what will he do? Leg 2 points down to 11. Looking rough here. Sherman rolling out. There you go. 3 Shermans rolling in. Got a 50 caliber fire. Fallschirmjägers wiped out. He should retreat since down in, calling in some air support here. The P-47 rocket strafe. Which I think actually ends up doing more damage to my own tanks than his. That seems to be what's about, I think, half the course there. The American Air Force had a very fun tendency of hitting its own. And in some cases their allies. There you go, Panther 4 blitzing away. Managed to escape their 3 Shermans and the US Air Force. Gaining veterans in the process, actually shooting down 1 aircraft. Going for the cut-off point. At the same time, I've got 2 units here holding the eastern side. Not going to leave myself open there. Panther 4 moving in, we've got more Raketenwerfer supporting. He's just really throwing anything he wants to push through here. He wants to gain those objective points. He wants to prevent me from holding most of the map there. Still Pioneers there versus the Sherman, 50 caliber main gun. Other Shermans repairing. I'm basically all I've got now to hold the point is at the moment the Shermans. But I'm trying to rush over infantry, including the paratroopers who just seem to have forgotten all about, which is a bit unfortunate. Of course, I could just call some down. Well, could go for another Sherman or some Scots. However, the Panther moving ahead, heavily damaged here. He risks it all. Rather moving up, Major being pushed back, Sherman's pulling further back for repairs, getting behind on the veteran 3, which is even here falling back in the face of IronEmperor's rather tenacious assault. Getting more Storm Pioneers, he needs that Panther 4 repaired, otherwise it's all GG. And really everything hinges to a certain extent on that Panther 4, but also his veteran 5 Obersoldaten, because the Fallschirmjäger are dead and the rest of his infantry is not exactly in the best condition either. I don't think they can pick up any of these rooms, he's just BAR scattered about there, which you can't use. Another Sherman on the way while the other Shermans are being repaired. Additional Storm Pioneers out there for IronEmperor and the 116th Panzer Division. And laying down a smoke generator, trying to large scrap the central victory point. Should have done that sooner, to be honest. Quiet here, and there you go. Schwerpanzer quarters spots the orbs down there. Through the smoke, the Volksguns might have a bit of a help there. Tries to get into the smoke again. More Shermans moving up. Paratroopers running straight into them though, but the Panzer Corps should be able to suppress the paratroopers soon enough, and there we go. Grenade off as well. Almost got the wipe. And there you go. Panther 4 forced ahead here. Sherman's getting ready to rattle off something. But still, he's doing what he can now to defend. He's got a kid over there, he's got the Obersoldaten standing about. Again, he knows he can't leave any point unattended for long there. He's desperately trying to prevent from gaining control of more than one victory point at any one time. Charging straight for the Sherman, got Kenmeth moving up there. And Panther 4 down, Storm Pioneer is being crushed. That's sufficient support. The Panther 4 was basically dead meat in the face of the Shermans. And we got a third one joining in, infantry just rushing into the centre there. Major trying to grab the point here. Sherman's taking hits from the rear from the Schwerpanzer supporting force back. The infantry taking punishing casualties as well. Academy finding support as well. Church getting bombarded liberally with high explosive rounds. Storm Pioneers getting raked with 50 caliber rounds, almost wiped out. Academy keep standing. Knows it cannot pull back here. And the Storm Pioneers got wiped. Another shot there from the Academy, but low on health. Low on numbers. Low on structural integrity. Another smoke screen down the central victory point. Academy gets up before the crew dies. More Fallschirmjägers, more smoke there on the central victory point. And the Scot on the way. Another Sherman here ready to support in the centre. Things are really getting focused in the centre, which I probably should have strike a bit sooner later on. As soon, of course, I've realised he'd focus more on the sides now. I should have taken advantage of it to strike in the centre there. I was a bit too slow to realise that, though. A bit too slow there. Scott then the way to up to deal with the remaining infantry. I mean, he's basically got a small force left, but he's still holding on to the map. He's doing something with it, but he's definitely struggling to do anything with it. And now he's left his western point on guard. He's calling up an infantry to try and help hold it. He is desperately finding here. He's closing in, perhaps trying to get another tank. Another Panther 4, perhaps a Jagdpanzer in sheer desperation. And I've got 4 Shermans with a Scot on the way. That's a sizable armoured force. Fallschirmjäger moving up there, cutting down the Major and his friends. Reifman still remaining here, just I don't want to lose that point there. Want him to bleed for it if he wants it. Want him to bleed. MD-34 moving up. MD-34 though not having much luck. Parrots with one side, Sherman surrounding it. That's about to get knocked down. And there you go. There's the MD-34 crew wiped. At this point, they've simply got too much armour. And he just doesn't have enough to deal with it. Also moving up, there's a 2 riflemen. Getting off a nice decent hit there, rifling a bit too close to the orbital line, quickly gets suppressed. Meanwhile, they're going straight for the Schwerpanzer quarters, finally knocking it out. They should have done that perhaps also a bit sooner there. Meanwhile, fighting in the centre, there you go, attacks on the Fulton, and they just finish them off rapidly. The enemy chances of rhyming, there we go, GG. Schwerpanzer quarters down, German infantry dying out. Ken Merfer close getting knocked out as well. Orbital Dardan finally perished as well. The Scot here arrived to do sort of the finishing bit. And so many Shermans, indeed. Indeed, but that was all part of the strategy to a certain extent. So there you go. It battled with me. Some people, of course, request. I know I should get more of them out. I just sort of tend to be a lot more critical, and so it took me a long time to get around, alright, maybe I'll cast this one. We'll see what people think of it. I mean, I tend to sort of have high expectations of my own, so if I don't think it's absolutely the world's best thing, I tend to just shove them away. I mean, even a slight flaw there might make me go, perhaps not this one. But there you go. A brutal fight here. Again, taking advantage of, a lot of players' tendencies to focus on the centre. He reacted to it just slowly, and overall tactically he tends to rely a lot more on just sort of brutish strain on the tanks, very on flanking, very also trying to use the actual advantage he had in the centre here to attack me from behind. So there's some, I think, definite tactical and strategic points there that IronEmperor could stand to improve on. Good use of blend covers, grenades, mines. Again, if he just knew how to flank, he'd probably be a lot more dangerous, to be honest. And also I think he pushed a bit too far with his 2 Panzer force there. And also he needs to coordinate his attacks better. Again, they tend to be a bit disparate, which allows you to sort of just deal with the elements as you arrive. You generally don't want your opponent to be able to do that. So, if you can improve those points, I think it'd be a lot stronger there. For me, I made some mistakes as well that could perhaps have struck at centre in later game to end this fight a bit sooner. Had I sort of been a bit more focused there, could have used smoke more, could have grenades, something I probably could have called down some more paratroops, used my Pathfinders a bit better, and I certainly had a tendency of getting some units a bit too quickly. So, I mean, definitely some room for improvement in there as well. But hopefully you've enjoyed this match, hope you learned something from it, hopefully it's helped you improve your own game. If it has, feel free to subscribe, tell a friend, share it with everyone. And of course, to like it, comment and such in the comment section, of course, is also quite welcome. And if you feel like supporting the Propagandacast, consider either donating via PayPal or through Patreon, which some people have requested, and which is now available. It will be there in the video description, so consider doing that if you feel like supporting the Propagandacast. So thank you all for joining in. Hope to see you all another time, for example, tomorrow. Cheers!